if you can't do it now, like, do you record it after?
What will we record it?
I don't know.
It goes simultaneously with what you were saying.
So you can't go. Can't go live.
No.
Okay. All right. So let us get on with it. I want to begin by asking the president to just go up, prayer, please.
A pleasant good afternoon to everyone. I am Acting ASP Fraser.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sergeant Maraj.
Chief. So, my term in office will come to an end in July and August of this year. I'd like to ensure that whatever happens will happen to the benefit of you all in terms of ensuring that there are no problems and that you will adhere to the rules and guidelines that are stipulated by the council. I will not be here to protect you if anything were to go wrong in the future. What we have been hearing the past couple of months is that the system has gone awry. The agreement that we have made with you all is no longer in existence and has become almost a free-for-all on High Street in particular. What are the issues? The issues is that allotment have been made in terms of a space that will be marked by painting and speaks to having 2 cuts on the street. The 2 cuts have been stretched, expanded, where 1 sheet of plywood will close the gap between the two cuts, supported by cases, and there's a set of goods. One of the things I don't understand in viewing from on the outside is that in everything you do, you're supposed to learn to work smart. I know that smartness is not common. In other words, to give an example of not working smart. You expand your space to more than 1 cut. So you have space of 4 cuts. Immediately you're going to attract the authorities, the police, and the administration that you are breaching the agreement. The second thing you do, which is also wrong, you spread out 100 slippers. Why would you do that? 100 slippers will give you excess work, spread it out, and then pick back up. You like to work. Let me take you back in time. So you go to a butter shoe store. You go to a butter shoe store on High Street. Where went to the butter shoe store? Maybe what are you talking about? You ever saw butter and 100 stickers outside and display? Is there any shoe store of 100 shoes, same identical item on display? No, you don't do that. It's either you're showing off or you're not smart. But you should have shown the other person that you have more stock than them and you're going to attract more customers. That's not happening. If you say you want to put size 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, so you have 7 sizes on display. Or you have 100 on display. it'll take so much time to put it on display in the morning, and so much time you need to pick it back up. And then you have to talk about storage. And the same space that you use in the direct expansion, you can use that space to bulk, to keep your bulk. So if you have size 6, 7, it makes sense. We use all of that. And the same thing applies to underwear and short pants. Why you have to have a display? So those are these little simple things that is being done that is for me and is that could organize. So we are being, our job in the corporation council is to be the servant of all the people, including the storeholders who have a problem with you. You may see on one hand that your business, that you will be responsible for attracting people to the high street, and they will not be so. The storeholders say that they have paid taxes, they hire people, they have all these things, whatever it is, they have a condition, and you just come in, spread out, you're not paying any taxes, and then you leave for the evening. The other aspect of it is the garbage aspect, the waste aspect. So we have to pay sanitation workers to do a exercise. Our garbage collection bill is phenomenal. So when you actually pay, what you all pay, how much you all pay for your event? What you all pay? Yeah. How much? 500 for how long? Never.
4 days a week.
Okay, for your give them. Is it when you pay that 500 covers a year? It covers how long? How long? 3 months. So, do you think that deputy come up here? Deputy is the chairman of the public health. No. Yes, chairman of the public health department, and that is the public health. So we try to ascertain at $500 for 3 months per year, if that could cover the cost of garbage collection twice a week, and what is the level of the street cost. Listen. I do not know what happens elsewhere, but we have been extremely lenient in terms of cooperating with you all. I know the ones who do the right thing, and those who do not do the right thing. So, the other aspect that consists of 2, garbage collection, 3 is abusing the privilege, and the other one is the free flow for pedestrians. So, if you occupy the entire pavement, then the pedestrians have to walk in the room. And if you occupy the entire pavement and you go beyond the drain, then you put in the pedestrians in halfway because they're walking in front of vehicles. A troublesome area is where it's between Clifton Center entrance and when the guys have galvanized with that. Yeah, not very ready. Because the galvanized have to come in this way. Tell them that the guys have all this stuff. And then you come out of the pavement somewhere, and then you go in the room. So there are several recommendations to deal with it. One is to stop vending altogether for a week. Do remark in the streets or whatever it is, pay over the street as a case for me. Ensure that you have a person that your badge has a number that pertains to the spot where you need to be on. So if it's number 12, your badge is number 12, your sign number 12, you have 2 cuts. And then we start the process all over again. There's one recommendation. Or those who are breaching the rules and the regulation, to stop immediately and go back to the other end. Take the pressure off. I could see here, I can get a little bit civil. We have a short time here again, there's going to be up to regulate, nobody can't do anything after that. Why are we so So you give us an inch and you take what? We take it a yard, you know it in the road, you put pressure on us. Mr. Fraser, I want to move to your observation, to share your concerns before we get a response from the audience.
Good day again, everyone. I'd like to reiterate what the mayor said. There are certain persons who continuously breach the arrangement that the mayor has put in place for you. Each and every person who doesn't know themselves. Right? There are persons nearly every day. You have to tell them what items in a box or something that have expanded onto the road, way out onto the roadway. Right? You're already using more cuts than you're authorized to use, and yet you have boxes now piled up on the roadway where persons passing. It is unfair to members of the public, and it's also wrong, right? That the police have to come and talk to persons for things that they are supposed to do. You all agree with the mayor to do that. The police support it, right? And it's not right that the police is holding back enforcing the law to allow you all to make a living, right? And you're taking advantage of the situation. And I believe, as the mayor said, something should be done to rectify it, right? It's either they revamp the whole process, because apparently the process that is in place right now is not working properly, right? And also the days that they are no vending, there are several of you all that keep coming out on those days, right? After recently, when it was 2 weeks ago, then we had to lock up one of your colleagues in front of Penny Lights to let them move. We told her to move very nicely, myself and Ms. Marach, as two senior officers. But walked in and once came back out, again spoke to her, move. She watched us and refused. But it was only one other option remained. Right? She was arrested, taken to the station, she was charged, and she was so unfortunate that she had to spend the night. Right? She did not get bail until the next day. Right? So let us not have to revert to these drastic measures. Right?
So the three areas that Mr. Peter spoke about, waste of resources. Do we have to have officers running up and down High Street whole day and whole night? The waste of resources. Because if we have an emergency elsewhere, we have to attend to the car because the plane cat and mouse in the High Street. When they go up, you come down. When they come down, you go up. Waste of resources, if you do what you have to do in a disciplined way, right, then we do not have these problems. The other thing is that you have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 days. Thursday is for people to take stock, restorers to take stock. And they have tried to arrange that way. They have people bring in gas, fuel, fabric, whatever it is, whatever goods, to replenish the stores. And then they have their Friday and Saturday. We are the majority of the guys are what we are the majority of the days. But what we do, again in the same trouble area between Clifton Center and the other area I spoke about earlier, people are now there permanently. And have a watchman, so they put up your 4, your 5, or 8 cuts from Saturday morning, and that stays from Saturday to Sunday to Monday to Tuesday. And you have a watchman every night. And that is not the agreement. But what you now have a permanent store on the roadway. Nowhere in the world that is allowed. So you're putting pressure on me, then you have the store owners complaining, other persons complaining, all these people come down with the stickers on the High Street, and them 2x4 Americans come back with a well, look at the state of High Street, what do you mean have this place? You care about it, and they go on and on and on. Smaller like we go on with the vendors, the few vendors, you try for them to dignify what they're doing, and they're all over the place. They're coming into the road in boxes and extending the little piece that they have. They have fruit, in a cup of fruit, they have fresh fruit, they have old fruit. And they're very unhealthy and sanitary setting. They cannot do that. So we outlined some of the major problems. I want to leave it up to you all to share your thoughts with us on what we can do. I know the guilty ones and I know those who I have no problem with. I can pinpoint one or two people here who I have no problem with at all since I've been on this route. And I've been here 9 years now. So at this point, Madam President, you have a microphone there. You can start the order.
Yes, good afternoon again to the panel, my co-workers. Well, what I wanted to respond to is the garbage collection, because remember all the stores put out garbage every evening. So it won't be our garbage alone as problem to take up when the evening come. And the other issue is, I know that we were given 2 cuts space, and I know for my own self that there are vendors that really gone beyond. So I think that the mayor will be able to come up with some plan, but not to shut us down, because it's too hard right now to stay home for a week and you have bills to pay, because that will create more chaos and more problem. So I don't like that idea, as staying home for 1 week just to do the painting up and whatever you have to do to take. But we could go about it in another manner, which is whereby if you have to walk and let them know, give them like a letter, those that have more than 1 cut spaces and taking up too many spaces, because remember, this is our livelihood. So I agree if you have to cut it back down to the two cut according to where they are. It's just to save our livelihood. Because a lot of us, like me, I depend on the street to live by, and there are many, many people here that depends on the street to live by. So whatever your idea you come up with, we will see how we could work around that. And as always, I plead with the vendors and tell them what is required. There are some of them say that I can't talk. No, why they say I can't talk? Because I don't use expletives, I don't go on in a rough way. So they find I can't represent them. They like...
Madam President, I grew up with a grandmother. So most of the lines that I use is lines that I was able to inculcate as a child.
Yeah.
You see, those who don't hear will feel.
Amen. So true. So
okay.
True. So true.
So we're not saying we're going to shut it down for a week, you know.
Yeah.
We're saying failure to adhere to the rules and guidelines of the agreement.
Yes.
Right? We'll give you a week
that.
off.
Okay.
So from tomorrow morning, Mr. Fraser is to be coming down High Street.
Okay.
And anybody beyond that will feel.
Okay.
And if between now and Saturday there's no improvement, because we can't be coming down there every day 2-3 times a day, they will do it after, because the same way you are making, and we support you.
Yeah.
I can tell you, we stand up for you all.
Yeah.
But there are more people against you than for you.
Yes.
In this business.
Yes. I understand.
So you're the minority.
Yeah.
So give us something to work with. Give us the support. Give the police the support. But if you're not doing that for a time, we just relax a little bit. Right? You're all over the place. You're on the pavement. You're on the railing. The railing was provided for the elderly to give them support. I had knee surgery sometime in January of this year. They had to go down that Clinton Street, and I can't hold on to that railing. I'm in serious trouble. And there are many persons of my age and older who have arthritis and whatever, and they depend on that railing. That railing is not a decoration, you know. It is to support the elderly. You can't be putting mats and slippers and toys hanging up on the railing. Your people doing that. We got a letter from Royal Castle last week. What they're doing at Royal Castle Corner. The entire area. People can't get into Royal Castle. It is hard for us. So I'm not pinpointing anybody here, you know, unless you all get your act together, because number one, to begin with, the first thing they will say to us, vending is illegal. We have no space, no margin to adjust, to allow this to happen, you know. We're breaking the rules. We are breaking the rules. So it requires cooperation and understanding, as bad as it is. In some places you can't vend, period. We don't want Sanford to come. You ever passed up Charlotte Street? Anybody ever passed Charlotte? We don't want Sanford to come like Charlotte Street. So we must take pride in what we have and give us the support. So we heard you. The floor is open to others.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Hope.
Angela Campo, I'm one of the vendors selling by detour upper High Street. Well, I agree with what you said, Mr. Mayor. And most of the people that give in trouble with goods leaving on the pavement, they have government job. They are working otherwise, and they are making it bad for us that depending on our own one source that we have by vending, many of us, we're not working any other way more than vending. Vending is what I know. That is what mind my children to get big. I have no husband. Right? And many of us here, that is the only job. But some of them that give in the most trouble, they have other jobs. And I agree with you. Because send out the police to get everything back in order. Because right now is a chaos on High Street. I agree with you. And for the days that we are not selling, I agree with you too, send out the police. Because we had an argument, a written argument, for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. And yes, they're defeating the argument, the contract that we signed, right? So if the police not working with us, the one that abiding with the law, it will be continuous chaos on High Street. So the police had to work with the ones that abiding with the law, right? Some of us doing the right thing and some just not doing the right thing, and no matter how you talk to them, everybody is big people. They're not little school children. They know right from wrong. What is the right thing to do and what is the wrong to do, but they choose to do the wrong thing. And Miss Lawrence, how much she could talk, how much she will leave, how much days she'll leave her goods covered on when we're selling and going to the vendors and them to talk to them or to do this or to write, to get a photocopy, to do something concerning the vendor. You know how much days her goods covering down to go to see what vendors' business, but they just don't care. So I argue with you to send the police to get back everything in order. We're not arguing with you to leave us to stay home for a week or two. Because you might say a week and it will take more than a week.
Ms. Campbell, there's another issue.
Yes.
So you have your two cut
Please.
allotments.
Yeah.
Now, you bring shelves.
Yeah.
You bring stanchion, you bring racks outside of the Luke stores, Nandlal stores.
Yeah.
They have racks. We're up in the air now, right? With clothes hanging from hangers, all kind of thing. I mean, Ashanti tongue we have in San Fernando.
Yeah, yes, I agree with you to get back thing in order, to get back to the two cuts.
Keep it basic. Keep it basic.
If you see how we have our cuts up by Upper High Street, by the store and by the bookstore.
Some people, because of the geography or where you're allocated, may have a little window to do a little more. Yes. But you can't abuse it.
Yes, I agree with you.
You have long, so Fraser, you saw what? Long, big clothes hanging up in the air and hanging thing.
Yes, well, I heard us spoke to the vendors about that. With my own ears, I heard us spoke to the vendors about that. But as I say, everybody big and they have sense and they know what is right from wrong and what they choose to do or choose not to do.
Even on the green galvanized, okay, you have the galvanized. So you could put a display there, that is doable. You have your little inside area, but you want the pavement too.
And one thing I want to say, the officers speak about locking up somebody by Pennywise. I don't believe that it's somebody out of the box. When I say out of the box, don't concern us. Not on the
so
vendors list.
you are Upper High Street?
Yes, what I say, there are people outside, they're not on the vendors list because they see people selling, so they think they could come and do the thing too.
Well, the other thing too that we tried to control last year is that you all are the regular vendors. We know the regular vendors. Yes. You're in there years and year out. But because we are somewhat lenient,
Yeah.
the whole of Chagonas and the whole of Moruga and Rio Claro and Portsmouth to come to San Fernando. So they're going to take advantage
Well,
of
it's
us.
an easy way to solve.
Upper High Street now, you have big panel, two big panel vans pull up to offload two vendors, you know. So the whole store, they're selling fan, mats, radio, cassette player, electronics, all of that on the road.
Okay. Where that me by Miguel Moses?
I mean, it's a whole store. And then the van park up on St. James Street and waiting to come back to drop off more goods when they sell out.
All right. Well, we
So
don't
if you were
have
smart,
idea
really, you could be a store owner, shut down your store on High Street, don't pay no rent, don't employ anybody, pack up the goods in a van and become a street vendor. You live in a 4-story house, you are a multi-millionaire, and you have 4 panel vans. It's a store you operating out of a van, and you hire 2 people, 4 little fellas in a short pants and a slipper, and they're selling for you at a percentage or whatever it is, and get a small salary. So what you do, you beat in the system. You have a store on High Street, competing with other genuine store owners who pay in taxes, who hire somebody. The same way you looking for a living, there are little people, small single parent person who glad for a little job to sell in a store, to make a little $200 a day as the case may be. But you are not depriving that person because it's you and yourself and yourself and yourself and yourself alone. I mean, we trying real hard to accommodate and make this happen, but we need your support.
Yes. And one thing I want to say, I appreciate you for what you have done for us, because all the years that gone by, the other mayors that passed never, what you have done for the vendors, no other mayor have done that for we. All the mayors will be jumping and running. Right? We appreciate.
If you're saying in one breath, Mr. Fraser, if this is the first mayor to give you some leeway and your advantage in me.
Well, not the whole, not everybody. Then you, as you said yesterday, you know the one that misbehaving. Yes, you know the ones that misbehaving. So come out and deal with them, and you know the ones that abiding by the law.
And then you have people saying you're locking up the poor people and you don't care about the poor people, but the poor people, some taxi drivers, the most indisciplined. You know what's our problem? We're talking about crime and the state of our country at this point. We are responsible, you know. It's not the police, you know. It's we as parents who set no example, because the same way some vendors breaking the rules outside there, not setting an example for the children. And what is the children to do? The children take it to another level. Because my father and my mother have no respect for the law, they have no respect for the rules, and they want to follow guidelines. You have to be disciplined. That is why we have criminalities at the level where it is in this country. Because we as parents have not demonstrated what we're supposed to demonstrate to our children.
And what I would like to say to us here, to relay the message that who taking advantage of the situation with everybody not here, to cut it down and do things what is right, so it will cause no chaos.
We were in a symposium, Mr. Fraser was there, with some people on High Street a couple of months ago. And a young lady claimed that she wanted to buy, I think it was a handbag or something. And she walked up to a vendor. And the vendor calling her sweets. Sweets, where you want this evening, while rubbing his crutch. Right? And she said she wanted to be treated with some respect. She said she's scared. Remember that incident? She's scared to be on High Street because the same way, there's several factors that need to be addressed here. How you conduct yourself.
Yes.
So you're a vendor and you're selling whatever it is. Whatever it is, you treat your customers with respect.
That's right.
You can't take up, because now you cannot take up an unqualified person to vend for you. Now I know you would not do that.
No.
Let's hope you will not do that. So a lot of people here will not do that. But you have those people masquerading, the real businessmen, who ain't coming on the street, who hire somebody to come and sell for him. He hire a little fellow who you could pay minimum wage. That little fellow have no discipline. He's uneducated. He has no rules and no respect for anybody. So he go out there and stop there. He hustling. That's what he is, you know. So he hustling to fill his pockets, and he hustling customers and disrespecting people. So when you sit at another level and hear why is High Street the way it is, because the people feel they prefer to go to the mall. Because the mall is more accommodating. The aesthetics is much better. The attitude is much better. You may have better prices, but you want to go in a safer environment. You can't be molesting nobody's daughter or nobody's wife, nobody's girlfriend, because you feel you hottest thing in town. And you're even hot, sir.
Okay, so
Yeah, you hot, look hot. You're not 3/4 pants, bust up slippers. You have a cap turned sideways, like we're back there. What did you say to the person? Why would you put your cap in the back so? When the cap is a sun visor, you know. I don't talk about you, but no. Your sun visor. But you tell yourself your hip, right? And your pants down on your bottom, right? And you're looking all how, which young lady coming to you to tell you what I want to buy this, I want to buy. They're running from you. Sometimes you're even smelling good. Because the person who sit down on the watchman by outside the Carlton Center from the night before, hustling and going into the day, the same the next day, you know. And somebody have to come to you and come close to you, and you, all these things contribute to poor business and lack of sales. How much of us saying in the morning here, how much of us here, I'm going to vend. I had to look presentable. I need to take a shower. I need to look good and feel good about myself, so somebody can come and stand close to and ask you, what is the price of that? Right? So you see the term hustle? You have to remove hustle from the system altogether. Right? You're a business person.
yeah.
You're a businessman, you're a businesswoman. Well, conduct yourself like the Syrians. You know how they started? Half of them started doing exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
Look at where they are today.
So walk around with a grip, they
Look,
call it
yeah,
a grip
partake.
long time. Yeah, partake.
Partake, that's how they used to go on. And you know what? They used to give credit with a little book,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
My grandfather bought a suit length, and he paid $3 and have it, and they mark it down in a book, and they come back next week, and my grandmother make sure she have the $2 to give them. So there was trust. Oh, it was a different time. But you talk about attitude, you have to start thinking like a business person. You can't be thinking like a hustler. And you have to change the image of all of this. Why High Street can't be in a well-organized facade where you all come together and put a structure in place? See that little $2 space we give for you all there? Let's take for the food vendors. What looks like for that food for them food vendors? We remember how they were before? You think anything different? Do you think it's the same attitude undercover?
Yeah.
Right? They don't care. You know how nice that could have been? But they don't understand it. So it's about how you market, right? People, for instance, will feel that the first thing you have going for you is that you're supposed to be cost-worthy because your overhead is less than the average person. So that you put things going for you. How do you capitalize on that? You have not capitalized on that. Because somebody telling me the store is $12, so I could be $12 too. You're supposed to be $8, the store is $12. Because you don't have the taxes the store owner has, and the responsibility he has. So you start with a bargain that you have going for you. But then make yourself presentable. Have a nice little space, well marked off, with something I mean, I can't tell you what it is, but you know what I'm seeing. I can't explain it. Right? But it can't be no carry box case and stack box case and things all about you, and plastic and cardboard.
Yeah, we speak
It
about
can be better.
I remember I was speaking about that concerning those sort of boxes
Yeah.
and that people have, it's time that they buy a cut down the street long enough, buy the cut and make it look presentable.
You
I remember
could
speaking
have your
to them
cut.
about that.
There are people who could do those things for you.
Yeah.
Design it in a way. And people feel comfortable to come to you and change your outlook. Change your mood and your dress code and everything. You looking at it, run from you, rather than come and buy something from you. Most of them are selling food. So it requires maybe an image thing. Change the way you conduct yourself. Change your image. Change your style. Change your presentation. You'll get more respect. You'll get more business. People feel more comfortable to be around you. I know some of you don't pay attention to these things. You know, it doesn't matter. But it is important. It is important. If I leave my home any home and come down San Fernando in there, what do you say? What kind of mayor is that? Where you come from? But the same thing applies to you. Whatever you do, the same thing must apply to you. It's called dignity.
And I would like to say something as a young man coming in, and you, Mr. Samir was speaking about the galvanized, and he was speaking about the table that's staying overnight. You all now come on the roadway, and that wasn't in the contract.
We under pressure, you know.
Yeah.
People are reporting to us how you allowing these things to happen in San Fernando. I highlighted a doubles man here 2 weeks ago, opposite the arcade. You know what I'm talking about? A man selling doubles outside there. If every doubles man could be like that person, we have no problem. It's the most aesthetically pleasing things that the eyes have ever seen is that doubles man outside up at the arcade where the cinema used to be. Right? Because he's doing exactly what I'm talking about. The way he plans his business, the way he operates, and the way he manages his business. People, when I put up that post, people all over the country spoke about it. You saw it? And they said that they don't have no problem buying doubles there. There was somebody selling doubles for years after FCB. Remove him. Between High Street and St. James Street, there's a pavement after the bank to take you back to Peniton Street, to St. James Street. They come forward, take up the entire pavement and selling doubles. They were not going for years. Eventually I say that's wrong. Right? We move them. So there's several aspects of the city that need to be addressed. Someone was told on the High Street, ridiculous. Somebody was paying what, $23,000 for a space, was it big like the stage, and they carried it up by $600. I said, well, these people are mad people. So I told them, people are mad people. But we have to address all the issues, and maybe you could really be you could benefit from that. Because if the public take a stance against those people, they're renting those things, you know. Them don't pay. There are no mortgage on some of those buildings, you know. They own that 10 times, but they rent it for $30-something thousand a month. How do you expect these vendors to make that money? So you also have the success story about those who started as vendors, and look at where they are today. One of them is Stackhouse on Panapia Road. Raymond is another one. Ducky's tent rental started vending on street. Look at where they are today. You can't be doing this for 100 years. So it requires, what is your strategy? Take a little step back, analyze yourself, listen to what we said here today. If you want to have our support, and how you manage this and how you could grow from it. Because you're obviously making money. You're hardly making money for doing this all this time. But you could do much better. So we're going to have to be quarreling and having this kind of back and forth. So I'd like to hear the views of others. Would you and I would anybody else here? Miss Hope, come on.
Good afternoon to everybody. One of the points is like the garbage on the street that they were talking about. Most of the garbage on the street is the store owner's garbage, right? It's not the vendors. And the other thing is,
So let me ask you a question. So after you finish your day's sales, Anya, whatever garbage or whatever it is, what do you all do?
put it in a bag. Most of us, well, I don't know further from me, but most of us are wrong to me. We put it in a bag and put it on the side just like everybody else, the other store.
That we required to do. So I'm just saying from today, every vendor supposed to have your garbage bag prepared and you do your collection and put it right side of the road.
But when I look at it, even like, let me say like by Detour, right? They have a lot of boxes. Sometimes it take over like this whole space, right? And then sometimes now the garbage truck guys might leave from down the road, leave the garbage truck, and they will come up early and they will take it and put it in the road, right? So it kind of like blocking off even the vendors, and they don't even care because sometimes we will ask them to don't smash it up right there because all the, I mean, they have to do their work too, but all the thing running down right on our goods right? So it's not really only the vendor, but most of the garbage is the store owners, right? The vendors that stay overnight, and sometimes, I mean, we all this talk and thing, it have some people that might afraid to go and tell them, it's not right to do. And even the people them that access things, you may talk to them over and over and they will not listen, right? And they will understand that where we were before running up and down for years, some of them now come and they didn't know what we was going through before, because I remember selling and they take our goods and they throw it on the truck just like that. Now we don't have that. We could just come out there and pack out our goods and sell free, right? And when Mr. Fraser now come out, I mean, it was really, he was doing his work too, but it was real terrible. But we now get over with that. Mr. Fraser passing and he walking and he have to tell nobody really anything. Even, I don't know, all the years I know Miss
Maraj.
here, Miss Maraj, and it's the same thing. She really cool with us too. After all the times we went through all this struggle with them, and now it come down. So all the vendors, let's have some of them not even here really to tell them, let us come on and come together and do something better, right? Even the retirement Mr. Mayor talking about, we all should really take up that heel and start to attire ourselves better than that to be presentable. And then the next thing is sometimes, like with the handbag and thing that went on with the person that hold the crutch and whatever, some of them it have a lot of people that just come and might be liming by a vendor, right? And they might see somebody passing and they will try to hustle.
Right, so let me address that.
They might
Do not
that.
encourage limers,
Right.
because they'll do more harm to your business.
Yeah. So,
Don't encourage them to come by because they have nothing to do,
Yeah,
In
so
fact,
sometimes it's just
there's a thing called
somebody like that.
loitering. There's a thing called jaywalking. And time wasters. Right? I could never understand why big hardback men have stomach high doing absolutely nothing, harassing women folk on the pass on the road.
That's so true. Yeah. That's so true.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. I know you would have known me from very early in my career, and that's with the vendors being disrespectful. I could tell you for a fact. I get that street. None of you always really see me with my daughter out on the street. I've heard people who make me out in my private capacity, especially when we had to have on the mask. I've heard the disrespect out of the male vendors.
Okay.
I can't say the female vendors.
Yeah.
My mom would have come out on the street to purchase. Nobody knows my mother. And the disrespect she would have gotten from Miss Celestine when she described as Miss Celestine would have been the person selling. The disgust and cuss and carry on. I was not surprised because we in police uniform get it from you all. How much I had 6 days to live in this job. I had 9 days to live in this job. Up to now, the male vendors, some of them you're getting the disrespect. The Thursday and Friday, the mayor has said there's no vending. If you are not vending, what you all doing? And it went from 1 to 2 till umpteen of you all coming out on a Thursday and Friday. That is a disrespect on itself. Why should the police be there to babysit you all? You all signed this contract and that is not the police job to babysit. If I have to babysit, I'm going to go back to arresting all of you all because it is illegal. This is not the police job to babysit you all. You all getting the bribe? All is supposed to do the correct thing. Even the ones on Montchagrin who say the mayor say it's only High Street. Montchagrin, they're running on Montchagrin, we have to deal with the mess.
Right.
On the top of High Street, why should we have to be babysitting?
Yeah. Well, I agree with you, and I appreciate how all this settle down a whole lot, and we must not give them a lot of trouble. I mean, I and all this come out on a Friday, but I just stay down with the phone because I
Do you know, and I was saying these things because we're having a casual conversation. There are recommendations to put you all on Mokarapo Street. Put you all on back street here and back street there. I know it's been tried before.
Yeah.
But we understand the dynamics. We understand why High Street is essential.
Yeah.
But you have to cooperate with us.
Yeah.
What you have to do. Take little and live long now. Why you want to sell 100 this and 100 that? If you sell 50, you could do all right and come back tomorrow and sell next 50.
Yeah, we could.
It is not difficult. It means that you have to change up how you do things and how you think. What is your objective? What is your strategy? What do you want to achieve? Are you a planner? Do you budget and say, okay, well, I have a top slippers to sell. If I sell 20 a day and you have 5 days or 20, how much days do you get rid of it? What are your peak days? What are your peak hours? All these are factors you have to consider. What are the best days to shop? What is your strategy? Sit down and think it out. You're on the street every day. You know what are the best days. You know when to bring a whole load of goods down, no, not to bring a whole load of goods. When do fortnight come? When the corporation get the pay? When CPB get pay? When URP get pay? When monthly people get pay? And work accordingly. We had about 1,000 slippers and 1,000 panty and on the street for nobody on the street. You're wasting genuine time. Know when there's money circulating and how to position yourself. All these things are critical in your strategy to attract people.
But
You have to work smart and you're not working smart. I pass and watch you every day and say, but why are they doing? What's wrong with these people? Right? They're possessed or something. Right? You have to be. When do URP get paid?
don't know again. That's why I was
Wait now, wait. When CPB get paid?
Don't know neither.
When corporation pay here?
We used to know before, you know.
Well, you
but
have
the
to
way
know.
how business
You
going
have to
now
know because
is like, it
this
have
is
nothing
you
like
have to know
mountain
these
again
things.
with us, you know.
When people get a pension, you have to know what.
It's like the same thing.
Right, so know how, so get your roster and get your peaker because the pension crowd is a different crowd.
That used to be, but it's no longer there. It used to be like that, so we would know, well, okay, month end time, fortnight, pension time.
It still exists,
But it's like that,
Yes,
but
yeah.
the sales is not like that anymore.
All right, so, okay, what I'm saying, you have to gauge, manage, and if plan A not working, then there's a plan B somewhere. If every day cannot be the same day.
No.
So you bring out less goods. You take a time out, you watch, you do different things.
Yeah.
Right? You have to be creative in your business. How you think Massey Store reached to where they reached today? Look at where they are today. Right? Because they hire professional people to come and sit down and come up with a plan.
That's so true.
You are in the business, you are around long, you have to you're on the street. You know street business. You know street talk. You know the community.
Yeah.
So you have to grow from that. I see the growth. I know those who grow it, but the problem is the indiscipline and the attitude.
Yeah.
So I hope that we did not waste any time here tonight. We don't have time to waste. Right, Mr. Fraser, they have the work to do. Right, we are going into so many different changes. We want to transform San Fernando.
Yeah, we could. We could.
Understand? We put zebra crossing for people to walk on zebra crossing. They walk in crossing wherever they want to cross the road. But you know they'll go away and not do that. You don't care.
Some people that's so like change.
It's not change. It is inevitable. It has to happen. This is a city. It has to be. We're going into local government reform where the city will have a lot more autonomy than before. Where they can work hand in hand with you to make some other people who want to come. This should be a tourist destination. I want to go to San Fernando. In fact, I know I meet people on the street sometimes who tell me, Mr. Mayor, I love to shop in San Fernando. I'm from Arima. I've heard that many times. I'm from Shogunas, I let it come High Street.
Yeah.
Right? Well, let's make it better. We could make it better. We tried different things. We block up High Street for Christmas at one time. Block up the whole of High Street, put tents in the street, had parang and things. We could start planning for the peak season, how we could do things in a constructive way that could derive benefits to all of us. So, Madam Chairperson of the Vendors Association, right, I suggest that you have a little meeting out in the car park after we finish here, because we have staff here, and talk to your people, and you spread the message because Mr. Fraser, tomorrow morning, bright and early, they're coming down. Bright and early. Are we coming with the truck to pick up? No, seriously. Because I get, what pressure I'll be under? I asked the deputy mayor. Everybody call him Mr. Mayor. What you doing? Why you allowing this? Why you allowing that? We get blamed for these things. And I have nothing to do with it. Nobody, I don't come and ask somebody for nothing. I don't come and take nothing in my back pocket. We don't do those things. And you can't give me anything either. Anybody can tell you we have never come to any event and asked you for anything, any special, not even a discount. You know? Because we respect what you're doing. We want you to respect us too, and our authority. And Mr. Marsh is right. The police have no right babysitting you all. And playing police and thief at you all. That's nonsense. It's a waste of our resource. There might be enough work to do to manage the city and take care of our assets. Not to run down vendors and lock up. You think it's nice? You think I feel good to lock up somebody on the goods and put it in himself? I can't feel good about that. Like the next thing I get is people selling market goods on High Street. The market is on Mokorapo Street. The market is not on High Street. You can't be selling cucumber and lettuce and things on High Street. You cannot be doing that. Because if we allow that to happen, High Street will become a market. And the market actually will shut down. And the people who selling goods there for years will be deprived of the opportunity. Once we don't do that, once we stop and relax, you'll be buying cucumber and lettuce and baigan and potato on High Street. It's only a matter of time before it becomes like another street that we know about. Do we want to see that happen in San Fernando? Where a man next to you selling body and you selling shirts and pants or underwear? So I am making a special appeal here tonight on behalf of the deputy and myself and the San Francisco Municipal Police for asking you all, please do what you have to do. Because you're going to use the balance of this week to manage the street. So when somebody asks me something, I can defend myself. Right. And whoever comes to replace us as mayor and deputy mayor will meet a disciplined group of people and say, okay, we could work with you all. Because they ain't going to be as soft as I am. Anybody else want to share their thoughts with us? Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody, and the mayor. So, what is the truck coming to pick up along High Street? Because I just hang out the clothes and the galvanized.
Mr. Fraser, explain to them.
Good evening again. When the truck comes out, it will be there to move anything that is causing an obstruction. Right? And anything that is causing obstruction means anything outside of what you are allotted. The space that you are allotted to use and the quantum of things that are exceeding that space will be removed. Right?
Okay, but I have 2 cut space by the galvanized. The next guy, he didn't come because he out there packing up the stuff. So I want to know if that is a problem.
Once you stay within the confines of the agreement and the law, you'll be all right, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else?
Where he is, right? He is okay that he uses cut plus he hang on the galvanized, right?
Right. The galvanized is one where the cuts are. Once you don't impede the flow of traffic on the road for people, pedestrian space. Do it a pedestrian space. Okay. So if you have the galvanized and you have 2 cuts like this now, and that area is a bit wide, so there's some flexibility. So it's not hard and fast. But what we see, you have the pavement, you have the galvanized, you have 2 cuts on the outside, and the inside and 2 cuts on the outside.
Just making sure that.
Right? So what you have is a narrow walkway in the center. Are we trying to avoid? Mr. Fraser will be down tomorrow, and they will speak to you and they will guide you tomorrow. I just said that. I just said that. You have a wider space and there's a flexibility across the board. But there are areas where there will not be flexibility. Because we have to also respect the public and elderly. We have to use the area. Anybody else? Yes, no? So, Madam Chairperson of the Vendor Association, we have your guarantee that your team will do what they have to do. And those who are not here, one of the areas I want you to focus on is from my Richie's drugstore going around Royal Castle. Hanging clothing and slippers on the corporation railing is unacceptable. Right? So the police will seize any goods they find hanging on the railing.
Sorry that the person that's still around that area, that she's not here and there's no one here representing her. But I'm going to relay that message to her so that she will know tomorrow the police will be coming out. And I would like you to read about the goods that you say that is staying on the roadway. I would like you to speak because this guy here, he wasn't here when you spoke about it, and I don't like when I go to tell them.
Which one is that? Which issue?
The color. Yeah, we
okay.
Talk about the goods staying on the roadway, and you say that the truck will have to come and take it up.
So just come to the microphone, please.
Okay.
And tell us where you are and what you peddle.
Good day, sir. I just peddle slippers and clothing.
Where you are?
I write by Fabric Land.
So how many cuts you have?
I do have cuts, sir. I have tables.
Tables?
Yeah.
What size are your tables?
The normal size like a cut. The table and the cuts them are just the same
You don't have carab cases and plywood?
Yeah, one of my table get mashed up, so others use our carab case and plywood.
So a size of plywood is 4 by 8.
No, this is a very thin strip of plywood.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mr. Fraser?
That cut in too.
Mr. Fraser will be there tomorrow morning to inspect that you have the allotment of a cut is about a little bigger than one of those chairs. A cut is 3 feet by 6 feet.
Yeah.
So basically you have 6 feet by 6 feet.
Okay.
Okay? Anything beyond that, the police will do what they have to do.
No problem.
And what we said earlier on, you don't have to have 100 slippers on display. You have to work smart. You know, you're not here for that part of it. You don't need to do that.
Okay.
Right? You put out a size 5, a size 6, a size 7. The case will be in a particular design. There is one row. So you make it easy. If somebody come and say, "I'm wearing a size 8," okay, look at size 8 here. And when on that move out, you put another one there. But you can have a 12 slippers on display. You're showing off.
No matter showing off with different style of slippers.
Yeah, well, how much sizes you have? You have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How often you get anybody beyond 12? I wear size 15. So it's not often. So that's 6 or 8 pairs of slippers from size 5 or size 6 back to size 12. It's one cut or half of a cut, and you have your replenish as you move it out. So you have 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, and then one goes, you put back another one. You have 4 cuts of slippers. That isn't making any sense. You get yourself unnecessary work. So we were saying earlier on, learn to work smart and save energy. Save time. So we are here to work with you all in the corporate, and I also think that you need to look a little more presentable. Right? I don't know your situation, I don't know what the circumstance the case may be, but look a little presentable. We also got comments about ladies being molested by vendors and being disrespected by vendors.
Well, sir.
I'm not saying you. I'm speaking to everybody here. How respect for ladies, how respect for daughters and girlfriends and wives and mothers and grandmothers too. But young fellas outside there do respect nobody. Some of them, not you. So we are asking you all to do a complete overhaul on your modus operandi, change how you do things, change your style, change your management, and change your strategy to have a better business and to get our support. And most importantly, adhere to the rules and guidelines as stipulated in your contract. Okay? Anybody else? I want to thank you all for your time. Thank you all for your proposed and agreement to cooperate with us. And Mr. Fraser will do what he has to do with this full team tomorrow. Any closing word, Mr. President?
Yeah, just like to make you all aware that based on how the court operates right now, where most matters are done virtually, in the case where any person is arrested and their goods are brought to the station, even at the end of the day when you are granted your bail, your goods will not be returned until such time as the magistrate gives that instruction to return it. So I just want you all to be mindful what can happen.
Thank you all so much for this evening, and thank you for your time.